Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve
Ladies
time.
and
Navi's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Hey,
remaining.
thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is sort of the most classic CIS matchup that you could really think of. If you go back in time, like 4 years ago, this was like a superb matchup with two teams at the top of the game, probably competing for, I don't know, like the direct qualifier for like TI or whatever. But right now, I think both teams have sort of suffered in the past few years. They've never really found a good roster that was like sustainable and was going to last. But right now, I think they're very even. I think Navi might be slight favorites because, like you mentioned, they're very hot right now. They also have a bit of LAN experience. Sure, they've had bad results on LAN, but I think that is a valuable experience as well. Team Empire, yeah, they also were at the summit, but ultimately still not as experienced as Navi overall. If you just look at Navi, they have Pyke, Dandy, Saniko, General. All these big names that have been at all these big LAN events. But, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that Team Empire is going to lose here. I think it would be probably like 40-60, maybe 45-55 in terms of odds, I think. So, a very even matchup
turn
here.
to ban. Dire team ban. Navi's turn to ban. Dire team ban.
See, that's the thing. You know, I actually think Team Empire could pick it themselves. I think it would actually... I think it would work with their lineup. But ultimately... Well, Bloodseeker, on this stream so far, Bloodseeker's had a 100% win rate. And that is why whoever is going to pick the Bloodseeker, I favor going into this. You know, I know my numbers. That's how stats work, right?
Queen of Pain. Dire team pick.
I do too. The silence is going to be very important here. The Blood Rage is actually, you know, just in general, I think a very good tool to deal with the laning. Was it the first game that we cast? Also, Bloodseeker versus Queen of Pain, yeah. So I think definitely a matchup that the Bloodseeker doesn't necessarily lose, especially with the help of the Clockwork.
Reserve time.
So yeah, I think they could go for the Bloodseeker, but the question is, do they play it? It's sort of a new...
Drow Ranger.
Or the fact that team started to realize that, you know, his strength, they are worth his weaknesses right now. So if Empire don't feel comfortable playing it, they will unlikely pick it. And now with the Drow Ranger lineup, I think it's even less likely they'll pick it.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Perhaps. Especially since Navi were unlikely going to pick it themselves. Actually, they could have technically picked it. Sand King Witch Doctor is sort of nice because the Witch Doctor does help in pushes, and it is a ranged hero. And Sand King, Sand King Draw Ranger is sort of like a good combination that people like to run because Sand King is the initiator and the frontliner sort of. But I guess it is a bit early. You could argue, but maybe Team Empire still has something up their sleeve. Navi going back for the Nature's Prophet, which they started picking up some time ago. I think like at the summit. I think was the first time I seen.
5 seconds remaining.
The Nature's Prophet. I'm a bit surprised that they started liking this first position Nature's Prophet. It is a first position Nature's Prophet, right? There was Pyket playing him, wasn't it? In the game versus... Oh no, it was actually offlane. Never mind then. It was actually offlane. Never mind then. Alright, offlane Nature's Prophet is still fine. But Team Empire with a Spirit Breaker and the Clockwork, 2 excellent counters against the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot about who gets to jump on who first. You're going to look to try and take out the Draw Ranger, but now with Team Empire surrounding that here with so many tanky targets, like the Clockwork, Spirit Breaker, as you said, even Puck can kind of run interference and throw out the coil, give Draw Ranger a chance to escape and whatnot, so...
5 seconds remaining.
I can definitely already see a high-octane game coming at us now.
Reserve time.
What we'd really love now is for the Drought to be like a mid laner and Empire picking up the Lifestealer for the Rage Train.
Draw Ranger doesn't really do well against Queen of Pain though. Puck definitely does much better.
But
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
What do we get instead? Was this Puck mid after all? I mean, Puck Queen of Pain is one of these classic mid matchups that is slightly Puck favorite, but
10 seconds remaining.
Still works out well for the Queen of Pain.
5
I'm considering they could go for something like a Shadow Fiend still. Shadow Fiend Clockwork, and then with a Draw Aura.
Reserve
that could be insane. They would definitely need another carry, I think. Right now they only have the Draw Ranger, so they need something else to carry them. Draw Ranger solo carry is awful. They could go for a Weaver if they wanted to offlane the Weaver, but I think that's also pretty awful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I legitimately think the Shadow Fiend might be the best option here. It definitely does well against the Queen of Pain, or it does fairly well. It can always catch up, obviously. You have a good... Actually, it should probably dominate the lane, considering the amount of souls and damage coming out from the Clockwork and the Draw Ranger Aura.
It is definitely...
They go for the Wind Ranger.
Navi's
one of these other classic Drow combos.
Don't like it, though. It's a good counter against the Nature's Prophet. And it's sort of also good against the Queen of Pain because of the Wind Ranger is strong here because it's a good follow-up on an initial disable. If Clockwork or Spirit Breaker find the initiation, it's not easy, but it's considerably easy for the Wind Ranger to find the Shackle Shot and then burst somebody down. But I think she's incredibly squishy and she doesn't really transition too well into an actual carry, unlike the Shadow Fiend. So I think in the late game, depending on what Navi goes for here, they could definitely exploit that with, something, a carry of their own, something that does well in the mid game and transitions into the late game. Trying to think here. Ursa wouldn't be... Well, Ursa could jump to the Draw Ranger. Void.
Phantom Lancer.
Ooh. This is pretty good though. They have nothing to deal with the Phantom Lancer in the late game. Yeah. It's an offlane Draw Ranger even. That's even more surprising. Well, I guess no. I guess it's not that surprising considering Puck does insanely well against Queen of Pain in the laning stage. So maybe they might actually go for something like an aggressive dual lane, maybe even / tri-lane, and just leave the Draw Ranger by herself versus the Treant. Because the Nature's Prophet, it might be a dual lane with the Sand King, but it's a bit unlikely, I think. And Wind Ranger is actually excellent in the tri-lane scenario. If they If they plan on a
5
tri lane, I think
seconds
then it's a
remaining.
good pick. If they just go for a dual lane, I'm not too sure about it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Alright, which
Absolutely.
lineup do you favor?
I kind of like Phantom Lancer. It can be an awkward hero just timing wise, but at the same time, if you don't have good ways to deal with him, just based on your own heroes, then it can be a very obnoxious one to deal with, because eventually it's gonna be super tanky and have an Agnum Scepter, spam Q on a creep wave. All of a sudden, you have like half a dozen illusions to work with. You right click on somebody, and they have no mana to counter time. So it's very easy to siege with them actually, just by softening up the enemy team like that. And it's going to be very hard to lock down and kill. So I think just based on that, I want to give the favor to Navi.
I would probably also favor Navi right now. I think the Phantom Lancer is definitely a good pick, but I don't know. I kind of wanna favor Empire just because I think that lineup is also really strong. I think the Spirit Breaker was a strong pick here, but they just don't have anything to deal with this Phantom Lancer. Unless they dominate this game very early on, I just don't see them beating the Phantom Lancer.
Alright, prediction time, really quick. I'm already selecting mine. Probably not. The TP cancel by stun is highly unlikely. Total highest magic or pure damage, I want to say Dandy on the co-op. Yeah, Ghost Stick can actually come close. I think Clockwork actually won last time around. But total number of Roche kills, probably not too many. Both teams not the best Roshan lineup. Highest amount of physical damage.
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh, they swapped. They swapped. It's a support Wind Ranger.
30 seconds.
Alright, you know what? This is actually even better. Support Wind Ranger definitely makes more sense here. I still don't think it's a great pickup in comparison to what they could have potentially picked up, but still, support Wind Ranger definitely better than the offlane Wind Ranger.
We'll definitely have a plan in mind to make that work. Yeah, that'll offer Clockwork now as a result. Ghost Rick will be just fine. Now, see 3 heroes walking in.
Battle begins.
Neko might still get the stun here,
I'll take
and
it.
threatening it enough to make sure that the puck doesn't get the boundary runes. So in that sense, nice little win there. 3 for 1 rune trade.
Yeah, coin.
Alright.
Queen of
Puck
Pain
mid
definitely.
lane.
Yeah, Queen of Pain definitely could use, you know, any sort of advantage that she can get against this Puck. Puck just... This used to be a somewhat even matchup. That's why in like 1v1 tournaments it was sort of used as a 1v1 matchup. But the fact that Puck just could continuously buff in the past like 2 years or so,
Yep.
makes it a very... not one-sided by any means, but still very favorable matchup for Puck.
You can kind of hold your own in terms of right-click damage. You have a slightly worse animation, I guess, but you can kind of get close to creep wave. You dodge shadow daggers. It's yeah. There's a few reasons why Puck is slightly favored in this lane, but at the same time, Dandy should have too many issues getting what he needs out of this lane. What I'm looking at more is this top lane. It is going to be that dual lane with General and Seneko together. But they're already being chipped away. Roger's sticking around here as well. Only for one shot to try and create some chaos. General just got 1 tree in. He's very unhappy about that, but I don't know, how do you see this lane up top develop?
It is actually not that great for Empire. They can't really bully them.
General TPing to mid here towards the other side. Aven uses all aggressively here, so now look for some body blocks. This is slow after the phase shift is already also been used. This is gonna be first blood. Another right click here. General gets it. He will give his own life thanks to the tower, but it's only gold, no experience going towards Aven.
Great call from Dendi. I can almost imagine the way this like worked. He sort of baited Puck into this aggressive movement. He was very low because he got constantly harassed by FN, and then calling for that TP was such a smart move. Look at FN. This is pretty. Oh, Dendi.
Well,
Yeah,
so
look
so
at
much
Aven.
you can't trade at this point, but
This is pretty much the way he's been playing this lane so far. So
yeah.
great call from Dendi to go for that kill. It definitely bought him a little bit of.
Try again.
I'm not even sure what it bought, to be honest.
Null Talisman, I wouldn't know.
No,
Oh,
I'm
no,
more
wait,
like, I'm more like, you know, that kill. It's like the Nature's Prophet even got the last hit on the kill, so it's not even that much of a win for Dendi, to be honest.
Well, it's gonna get him his face boots, and this is just one of these items that can help you just farm the jungle or even dominate lanes in case Miposhka and Roger, like those are two heroes that don't really want to be the safe lane.
FN.
There you go, solo kill. Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't think that was gonna happen, to be honest.
Dendi just I'm not even saying overextend because he was behind his tower, but he was solo HP. He should just not have been there. But FN is absolutely dominating this lane. 11 denies. He is, even though he died, he is over a level ahead. Now he's just one level ahead, but still, that is absolutely insane.
That is crazy.
Bottom lane.
Alright, down bottom.
Ghostic.
Ghostic actually gets body block general once again. Gotta keep an eye on this guy, making these rotations, but unable to really keep Ghostic in place. Tanky little Clockwork Gnome will be able to survive. And top lane is kind of unattended right now, which means pre-farm for Chappie. He's definitely gonna be happy about that.
For sure. And we need to emphasize that, yeah, Puck is favored in this matchup, and he has the draw aura as well, so this is not, you know, Dendi not being a great player or anything. It's just such an unfavorable matchup right now.
Yep. Plus 8 damage can make quite a difference here if you exchange right clicks as they have been all the time.
Yeah, and the double no talisman build from FN is also a great choice, because this way he can absolutely dominate the lane. Not going for boots is the best choice he could have made, really. Yeah, oh, this rune gets denied by a goddamn treant.
Well played.
Still, he's absolutely dominating this lane. 14 denies. Dendi is 8 and 6. 9 and 6 now. I would not want to be Dendi right now, really. And it's not like even like the TA where you can take Ancients. Queen of Pain, sure, she can farm the jungle with Scream of Pain, but it's not very sustainable because she uses up a lot of mana with it, of course. So this is not the same sort of like catch-up potential that we had on the last game.
So let's talk a bit more about the bottom lane, because not too much action has happened here apart from this one general rotation. Actually, speaking of general, he's still doing things up top. He's being charged up now, connecting onto him. Follow up, bit of damage there from the power shot, but Shackle will not connect. General barely able to keep them away. Chappie really wants to get this kill, and he will, but at what cost? Dies himself as then he makes that rotation and make them pay for it. Oh, that is Miposhka.
Well, don't need to farm creeps when you can farm heroes, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
This is not good.
Still a level behind.
Yeah, he's still a level behind, and you know it did force a rotation, and he
gonna go again. General
all that
TP's
jazz.
backlines. Quite get the angle on Chappie, but now it's being charged again. Probably gonna figure out Dendi is not gonna do the same thing 2 times in a row. But at the same time, will Navi fall for it a second time in a row? That's the
He's not really in a position to take this. Wind Ranger's so far away, so even if the charge connects, there's no follow-up really.
Is he gonna bash? There it is! Silence! Nah, he's too far away. Shackle attempted.
If that Shackle had connected, that would have been bullshit.
Still on level 1 since not all that long, so I don't think he was gonna die there.
Dire's top
Alright.
is under attack.
FN is 1k net worth ahead onto Dendi. And this is after Dendi got 2 kills. FN is just absolutely dominating this lane, and I know we should talk about other lanes, but ultimately there's not really, there's not really too much going on anymore. Oh, mid lane, there's a lot going on now.
Comes up, plus the coil, general. Oh, that's a lot of pain. Strong right clicks with face boots and the ultimate being committed, so that tends to help 3 heroes around there, so big net worth swing overall in favor of Navi.
The good thing for FN is that he just spent a lot of money, so I'm pretty sure he didn't even lose that much gold. I think maybe like 100, just considerably nothing. But yeah, these rotations from General, he's been part of all 4 kills? Let me just check. Yeah, he's been part of all 4 kills. Yeah. This is pretty much how you're supposed to play it in Nature's Prophet. Use the fact that he can be anywhere at any time. So basically any lane has a sort of +1 if you really think about it.
Yeah. So I guess a summary of that is
Queen of
everything
Pain.
we've been talking about. Again, being charged up. He already used the blink up to the high ground, but no immediate follow up now. Might actually be in trouble here, trying to TP out. Ivan can get in range for the cask. No, not quite.
4 people or 3 people rotated for this. That's a lot of commitment, and this just goes to show how much Dendy has suffered in this lane. I'm pretty sure, you know, if the game had been a little bit differently, they probably wouldn't react the way they did just now. But they just know that they can't give Puck any more of these kills.
Yeah, look at him. Coil, silence. Can he burst him down? Actually, another right
Yeah,
click.
it's gonna be enough.
There it
It's
is.
gonna
Yeah, then he can't even get the blink off. Because he went for an extra Shadow Strike, but yeah, I think the coil was still on him. So he couldn't have blinked earlier, else he would have died regardless. Top lane though as well, Navi trying to look for a counter kill. Good silence though from Champion. Big might catch General here, blocking him with the trees. Cask, keep in range for the burst strike, so they get that onto Chappie. Jackal might just be enough to get him safe though with the stick charge. Trying to TP out, so Neko on the right click. Now that also top of him is only he will die at the end of the day in basically the last tick. It fights in front, so goes on. Roger comes through, Ghost Stick will pop as well, just the right click. General, well, looking very dead as well. What for all, even Pycat mid rotation. Dendy and FN also joining the party. What's going on here? They find another charge from Snako, bashing everyone else's turn. He should end up falling, and he does. But what comes? Roger gets another bash as a parting gift towards Dendy. What the hell is this? I guess CIS Dota in a nutshell, but who won this fight?
15 kills in 9 minutes. That is definitely CIS Dota in a nutshell. Overall,
4 heroes died on either side.
Overall, I'd say it still favors Navi. They didn't lose. I mean, the teamfight recap shows that it's 4-4 trade, but that's because it still accounts for the death of Dendy in the mid lane. But overall, it's a 3-4 trade. They killed the 4 heroes on Empire side, and they kept Phantom Lancer and Queen of Pain alive. So definitely a favorable trade for them. They also got the crucial experience of for Dendy. I think the fact that like Dendy needs every kill he can get now. So overall, yeah, good for them. But that's the thing about this line of Navi. They can't really transition these kills into any objective just yet. The Nature's Prophet is not high level enough.
Whereas for Empire, they have that level 6 on Chappie, so it's all of a sudden a little extra draw range or damage coming through. So you can start chipping away at these towers if you find the positioning. Chappie realized that it's a little bit too far up top, so they TP'd down bottom with the rest of his team. Mirroring Pycat's rotation, who's still sticking around in this lane, now together with General. They will be able to trade these towers. So is it even a trade? Navi setting up a bit of a defense.
They're giving away this tower for free pretty much. They're not even setting up for a tower push here because they know that Navi is close by.
Ghost also gets scouted out. Realizing that must mean they have to realize that there's a ward here that's scouting at Empire's rotation, so they will get the tower at the end of the day. But a lot of waste of time from a lot of these heroes. Alright.
Yeah, they're still wasting a lot of time, Empire.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of this. So if you just looked at this, it almost looks like they're just waiting for like a smoke, but nobody has a smoke. Oh no, they have. Why didn't I see that?
I don't know. Maybe the glasses.
Yeah,
what do you ask
really
me? But yeah, Ghost Stick just hit his level 6, so that was a bit of a struggle to get there as well as later. But now he found it. Looking for the call. Snake goes out of mana, so don't even need to use it good here. Just grab that kill and go and defend. Just take it for what it is.
See, but they waste or they invest all this time for like a Sand King kill. It's not even that worth it, to be honest. I guess now it does secure the Veil of Discord for the Puck. Actually, he had it before anyway.
Yeah, FN is still the network leader, right? Together with Pycat, they're very close by. That's something that FN, or that Empire in general, I think want to try and leverage as much as they can. Now they'll charge up top. Only an illusion though, so it's not ideal. Could have turned into a potential Phantom Lancer kill, because at this point this year is still very squishy.
Yeah, coin.
So
Clockwork at level 6. They can initiate now.
It is the walls to give vision here for the ultimate from Roger here, dodging the cast bounce. Now that ultimate will also be cancelled. Roger is still taking a lot of damage. He has to charge out, but the Melding will bring him down. If Roshan doesn't do it, he gets the deny off. What a player! But now Ghostic Next one who's in a little bit of trouble. Dandy.
Another
And deny!
What?
Oh, these guys are players!
Dire's middle
Oh, man.
I'm 100% sure that the Spirit Breaker meant to be denied by Roshan, or he at least attempted to be denied by Roshan.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, 2 denies like that. It has to hurt for Na'Vi, because Na'Vi, they're behind, or they're not necessarily behind, but, you know, again, Dendi wants as many kills as possible, and they get denied 2 kills like this.
Like, Na'Vi in total is not behind, but Dandy definitely is. I mean, a lot of this net worth is on his Phantom Lance, so as good as it is, he still needs a while to get going. He's even going for the Manta style first, just because he needs some sort of defense utility, I guess, against the Puck Silence.
Yeah, he definitely won it against the Silence. Overall, though, it's actually a bit worrying for an Empire, the fact that they are behind in terms of net worth, because the way the laning stage went, they shouldn't be behind like this. I feel like they should be ahead more, or at the very least be more even, but they're behind by like 2k net worth. I guess it also comes from the fact that they're behind it by a tower, but still, I think they're just not getting enough out of the map. And you know, part of it earlier we pointed out how they were wasting time with that 1 kill in the SK. Ghostic hasn't really been farming for a while now, and I talked about Ghostic is level 6, but this is an offlaner. This shouldn't be just level 6. He should be more.
If you look at net worth distribution, both Puck as well as the Draw Ranger are actually doing quite well in terms of net worth, considering. So where this disparity comes from is this Clockwork offlane. I mean, we're so used to seeing Clockwork just dominate, and well, this one just hasn't been able to do that just yet.
To be fair, it's difficult against the Phantom Lancer. I think Phantom Lancer is one of the more annoying heroes to deal with, and also the Witch Doctor is a good hero to sort of like zone out. He has good, decent range and attack animation. But overall, it still, I think, comes back to the fact that they just don't really utilize the map as well as they should. Right now, they've done a good job in the past like minute or two, but overall, I think they just spend too much time close with one another. Whereas Na'Vi, they're spreading the map entirely. Everybody's pretty much farming by himself. Only Biver is really close to Pyket, but the other 4 heroes are all farming.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? I mean, even now, down bottom, both Miposhka and Chappie were looking for Snake kill, and now Roger comes through.
4-7 to silence.
That help? Yeah, they should be able to finish it.
I wasn't
So
sure
kill
if Chappie
that's-
was going to get there in time or not.
Yeah. That's a kill that Ghostic and Miposhka were looking for a little bit earlier, and then they decided, alright, let's TP top and try and defend, but Na'Vi, disciplined enough to back off in time, so that rotation didn't really give them anything. Once again, just spending time not as efficiently as they want to with not being able to get these kills. Now, little charge on the real Phantom Lancer, the hookshot comes... Oh god, that's a bad pause.
I mean, he's probably dead.
That's a Senki who's dead anyway, with the auto pause. It's a bit unfortunate that it happens here in this situation, but yeah, he should be dead. Don't be that. The Pycat? Well, he's actually fighting. Once you get the trade onto Ghosts again, he will be able to.
That's a support for an offlaner. It's not a good trade.
Charge being cancelled.
Oh, FN mid.
Oh, Epicenter. Still fine, actually. Charge moving through, also keeping Denny away. Does have another blink if he still wants to go for this puck. And he does. He'll blink forward, a couple of right clicks, FN. Phase shift. Another orb for a second, though.
Oh!
They get the kill. Power shot, put in the middle of the edge. Wow, this game. Soneko still comes through with another burst strike to finish off the kill. And it's probably good because that was a lot of gold for him and his blink dagger, which he has in his pocket right now, or in a couple of seconds anyway.
Oh boy, that was so unfortunate for Dendi, but also very well played from Miposhka, realizing that, you know, just power shotting can probably put the Queen of Pain over the edge. But also a bit greedy from FN. He could have technically gotten away, like you pointed out, the Spirit Breaker charged, interrupting the Queen of Pain, blink, and that technically should have given FN more time to get away, but I think he considered, you know, maybe I can go back in and, you know, try and silence, coil them, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was
maybe didn't count on Dendi to go this aggro either. I mean, there's a lot of factors that you consider. Maybe can't really come to. But now, this is on Blink Dagger. There's another call in 14 seconds. Charge towards the top lane, but probably not lead to too much. Despite Ghosting being here as well, Aim.
Is it even on the red target? Nope, it's on an illusion.
Cast. Bouncing. The hookshot though will connect to the Biver, so it should be free kill. He did get a bounce off Ghosting, but this is another Pycat. electing not to help out his friend because he's low on mana.
They go for
And of course,
Roshan
there's
now?
plenty of heroes from Empire making his way towards there.
We are coin.
I was thinking maybe
Roshan?
they could go Roche, but they don't have a medallion.
Yeah.
Because one pickup is definitely sufficient, I think. They did use the Epicenter earlier, so it would have been a cooldown right now. And without the Witch Doctor, that's a lot of teamfight control, or like Roshan pit control, actually. So I think, you know, if they had a medallion or maybe like a Wind Ranger, I think they could have gone for
We're looking towards mid here now.
it. Yeah.
And it's there. I mean, asking will the real Phantom Lancer please raise his hand, Pika. Going somewhere else entirely, so not exposing himself at all.
This FN Puck has been absolutely great in this game, but I feel like he's not really getting as much done as he should with his item and net worth advantage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
General? CP will contribute. Okay. Did they have a ward giving the vision? No, just...
No, that's why they're pinging it out. I think it's just... Actually, I'm not sure where Spiritbreaker started his charge, but Clockwork planted a very deep ward in the secondary jungle on the Dire side.
But he started it like from the shrine spot, I
Yeah.
think.
Probably just good awareness.
Yeah. Alright. Very even game so far. I think that's what we can conclude. Only 1,000 gold advantage here for Navi after everything.
The thing is, though, if you're a Draw Ranger lineup like this, and you're even 20 minutes into the game, and not even, you're actually technically behind by like 1,000. That means you're behind, because you want to be ahead.
Want to try and remedy the situation in a 3-man smoke. Archer's there, and of course looking to
they're
utilize
gonna go
Link
uphill
Dagger
as well.
more and more. They might find General, they might find Beaver. Not the biggest target, they will put them down just the same. Dandy with a blink out, and General, well, there's a TP inside the trees. Pike actually TP'd in, not sure about this one.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, but Empire cannot punish it.
So, usually I'd say, you know, it's a Draw Ranger lineup. They could translate this pickoff into like an objective, but they're just not... The pickoff they got was pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Their creep waves are not even pushed in at all because Navi is doing a really good job of keeping every lane pushed out, really. So even though this is a Draw Ranger lineup, they can't really go for any objectives. They could have potentially gone for Roshan earlier, but they don't really have anything to support it. They just don't get the meaningful pickoffs right now. They've killed the Witch Doctor twice now, but that's... Hooray, congrats, you can kill a Witch Doctor.
Look for Snako now as he's pushing out this lane. They should be able to find him eventually. Snako's trying to juke jive, gets a blink out into the trees. Biposhka, well, gets rid of these trees, so should be that sinking. Does have a sandstorm, and that'll cancel the ultimate. We'll make him walk for a little bit more, but yeah, eventually he'll get that kill. Bit more of an important one here.
But he's wasted a lot of the time, and Pikehead and General are already knocking on the top front door, whereas Empire, they're not even committing to anything. The Draw Ranger's not around, the supports are sort of like farming the jungle. This is a Draw Ranger lineup not making the trades.
Like they want to fight, they want to confront Navi, but they've been able to dodge these big 5-on-5 team fights every single time. We just haven't seen them.
I'm not sure who's making this call right now in Empire, but I think that's just a bit of not correct decision making. I don't know, I think that after the Sand kill, they should have gone and committed for the tier 2. The Draw Ranger should have been closer as well. Obviously this is hindsight 2020, but I think you need to set up for it like this, because you do pick the Draw Ranger for a certain purpose, right? And it's certainly not to transition into the late game, because you're not gonna win the late game against the goddamn Phantom Lancer. Even if you do have a Maelstrom, it's still a Phantom Lancer.
It is extremely hard if you play the correct way. Now's the time where you can maybe strike, but even then he has a mental style, he's fairly high levels. So level 15 gives it a +8 stats talent. It's actually not the easiest target to bring down at this point already. And now Epicenter up top, being channeled up, Snako blinks in, up, FN blinks out, so ultimately that's a wasted ultimate. No pun intended.
They might re-engage, or they want to definitely, they just don't know where Snako is.
They always want to engage, right? That's it, they get the charge off now, so this shouldn't be that sank. Cancel like this, but at the end of the day it's only sanking. He did manage to help get rid of the creep wave, so once again, no tower really on the docket for Empire on the back of that.
Yes, that is always the question you have to ask yourself. What is this pickoff going to transition into? Are we going to, you know, do something with it? Maybe they can get this tower. They do have the Wind Ranger ultimate. But yeah, it is a tower. It's a tower. But look at the bottom lane. Navi is responding correctly. They're like, all right, you're taking one tower. We're immediately pushing at this lane and making sure that we might even be able to pressure the tier 1 ourselves. I think this is something that Empire should have done maybe like 5-6 minutes ago. Try and go for a pickoff and then, you know, push for a tower. But knowing Empire, they might just all TP bottom and try to defend this instead of trying to go for the tier 2. They could push the tier 2.
Yeah, I think that's purchasing, I guess. Chappie already has a Maelstrom, so it will also help with creep waves, but...
Radiant's top tower is under
Nope,
attack.
they're not going to commit to this tier 2 at all.
Not really anyway, I mean, and he's the only one hitting it, but doesn't really have mana. It gets initiated on. Now he has to try and play his way out of there. Doesn't put the link to work with him, but stand somewhere on the sides. He should be alright, but the rest of the team, maybe not so much. Roger, his own TP will get cancelled, so that's the Space Cow dead.
Sorry, did you say stop?
Empire feels very disconnected. The fact that FN was the only one that stuck around for the tower push. Like, if you retreat as a team. If you don't retreat, then commit to the tower as a team. But that was just very half-assed, and now it's actually Navi that is getting the Roshan. This lineup does not kill Roshan well. They don't have a medallion, they don't have a good...
They have a Blightstone, in general. Okay. They have a Blightstone, they have minus armor.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
But yeah, Empire, they kind of feel pressured into this right now. The buyback in from the Space Guy needs to TP in, but instead he just charges. It's gonna be one till he's there, but they find initiation here, bring down Viper. Good set of cogs too, Snakeo. Push back into it with the epicenter, so Ghosting will be the first one down instead of Empire. Charge now connecting onto Dendy. All of them fairly low. Yeah, that with the ultimate to follow up, they bring down the Queen of Pain and Pycat as well. Somehow they make this work.
With a region rune.
Full 5-man wipe. Region rune for a fan, the WoW spam will commence.
General will be brought back for this.
Yeah?
See, this is why I
think
said...
they'd have that in them, but it was a good place for them to fight, I guess.
This is why I said
With that
Navi
initial-
doesn't take Roshan.
Yeah.
Great decision from Empire to fight this. Also great decision from Roger to buy back for this. Very crucial. His charge and the ultimate as well to getting that Queen of Pain. Overall, a bit of questionable decision making from Navi to stick around and fit for that long. Even though they knew, like the moment the buyback hits, I think you need to disengage.
Gonna get into tier 3 here now.
You're gonna lose the tier 3. And potentially Irax. Yeah, they're not gonna buy back on the Queen of Pain for like 5 seconds, that's for sure.
Well, there it is. Calf bounce. Nicely dodged.
That's what happens when you play against the Draw Ranger lineup.
Yeah, that escalated quickly here, and they might find Roger and with a dieback, but he does get the charge out. Snakeo did get the stun onto a fan, which would be the more important target, but of course it's a puck, so with a blink as well as a Lincoln Sphere, so not exactly easy to grab a hold of.
If you're a Navi fan, you have to feel a bit frustrated with your own team. They didn't even need to force their Roshan. There was no need for it, because I think the way Empire was playing, they were too chicken to commit for a Roshan fight anyway, or for a Roshan sort of taking anyway. Oh, Roger, is he dead?
Maybe. He's a tanky Space Scout, just gets help from the silence up, turns this around with an ultimate on the Sand King, so he'll probably be right click down, but make a trade out of it. Snakeo is getting very close to that, but now with the extra help coming through.
I like how Chappie was just walking away. He could have, they could have killed the Sand King, 100%.
Well, might still be able to kill somebody here. Hookshot will connect on the Witch Doctor, so that'll be that. Pycat is there with the cube, but he gets shackled up! Blink from Miposhka, setting that one up, followed with the silence. He's doing quite a bit of damage here with the field blink. Ghostic will die to illusions even after the real hero is dead, but I think they're gonna be fine with that. Especially now Snakeo showing himself again. Another blink, another shackle, there it is! Chappie claims a triple kill here, but great setups from his supports. Both the Clockwork and now the Windrunner as well with two great, excellent blink shackles. And he just picked it up after this big turnaround here on the Roche.
Puck is chasing the general. He has a blink soon, and his ultimate.
Does he have the call? He does, and he does throw it out just in the nick of time. General still another TP to throw out, and the fan, well, has a nuke. That auto taunts. Not really warranted.
Navi's just throwing away
what
what they stalled up by themselves. I think I don't know. The top engagement, or the Roshan fight, alright, that's one thing. But I think afterwards they sort of just fell into this sort of bad mental state where they thought they needed to do some certain things, and then they're not really communicating on one page anymore. In general, just being by himself here the entire time, he was bound to get killed at some point. And getting caught off guard top like that, I don't know. Like, they should have, for example, when they lost the Witch Doctor, they should have just let him die. Instead, Pyken walks back in, tries to help him.
Yeah.
Well, he was dead anyway. Like, Biver was dead 100%, and it's just, I think, Na'Vi not necessarily being on the same page as they used to up until this point. Maybe not as focused as much either.
Radiant's bottom
That
tower
hook shot
has
just
fallen.
barely being dodged thanks to the reverse strike, but they do get the Nano Tower. And do they commit high ground here is the next question.
Radiant's
Every
bottom
ultimate is
tower
available
is
apart
under
from
Sure, you saw the Aegis. Oh, by the way,
yes.
Agon and Scepter as well on the
Oh, and an insta-kill onto Pybrep and showing off that they got level 2. Power shot comes through, the charge will be cancelled, but, well, that's the second hero down. General dies again, no buyback on either one of these heroes. Gonna be down to Dandy, Pycan. I mean, he does have some damage potential here with the Diffuse Blade, but not really use mana. He can't purge off that silence. Now Blink Shackle, he just gets taken out.
No buyback. This might just be GG.
Might
60
just be it,
seconds
yeah, they
without
can
Phantom Lancer.
go straight for, I don't know if they feel confident enough to go for the tier 4. It's the count kill for Mega Creeps because of tier 2, but yeah, Na'Vi just call it G to the G. And yeah, that escalated extremely quickly on the back of this one fight in Roche.
That one Roshan fight. It is... I don't know, I think Na'Vi, again, they weren't even pressured into taking that Roshan. I think they might have just felt overly confident because Empire had played a bit, you know, timid up until that point, and traded very unfavorably, and then Na'Vi just, you know, came out on top and were like, yo, let's just take Roche. We killed the Spirit Breaker, and, you know, we're 5v4, but ultimately, you just can't